Fellow Toastmasters and guests. The other day, I was talking to a colleague of mine, and he somehow in the conversation threw in there the word mid career, us mid career folk. And I was like, are you talking about me? Are you serious? Am I one of those people? Turns out, with a little bit of reflection, I am. And another thing that I also found during this reflection was that I think I just went through a big career crisis. I was thinking about this and I kind of came across Phil from Groundhog's Day. I, Maybe about 2 years ago, I was thinking, oh, every day was kind of the same thing over and over and over. And if you know this movie, you know that there's kind of no end in sight for him. You don't know why he's in this loop. But it seems that once he figures out how to be a better person and just be able to move on with his life, that's when the moving ends and he's able to move on. Well, I think for me, I was kind of sitting there like, I like my job, I like what I do, but I felt a little bit more like Ariel from The Little Mermaid. I want more. There's something else out there for me. There's got to be more that I can do. I joined Toastmasters. I started a Girl Scout troop. I switched jobs and then switched jobs again. And this is kind of what I'm going to get into. But when I think about it, I think that this whole mid career crisis, as you call it, was sort of like a chemical reaction. So there's this Arrhenius equation, which basically tells you, if you're not familiar, about how you have starting reactants and you move on to products. And to get there, there's this certain activation energy that you need to go over to get through that transition state. Now, there's different types of reactions, and I would just say that if we're looking at the situation of a mentor, the mentor acts as a catalyst. So how does a mentor work as a catalyst? The idea is that you know your starting point and you know you want to get somewhere. If you try to do it alone, it's going to take a lot of energy to get there because you have to figure things out by yourself. Well, mentors provide you a good opportunity to kind of lower that activation energy in three ways. First, they give you perspective. They can see the forest when all you see is the trees, right? They will tell you, is the grass greener or is it not? They do this with their experience. The second thing that they have that you don't is maybe they've gone through a mid-career crisis, or maybe they know somebody who has. Who doesn't like hearing stories about back in my day? Well, there's a lot of people out there who are more than willing to share those types of stories with you. And wouldn't you like to learn from their lessons so that you don't have to learn it yourself? For me, I have a group of colleagues that I have actually had many of these conversations with for over the past 15 years. When I started my MBA program, they made us take this touchy-feely class called organizational behavior, and they made us go on a weekend-long trip where we had to leave our cell phones behind. We couldn't talk to anybody. And I remember our teacher telling us that we were going to build friendships for life. And I didn't believe him because he was like, make sure you choose wisely. But these are the people that I still rely on. And I think that the thing about it is we have shared experiences that we can build off of, but they're in different industries. They have different jobs. They also have kids and are married. And so they're in a similar state and can understand where I'm coming from, but they provide that perspective and they relate their experiences to how they can help me in my particular situation. The third thing that a mentor does is provide that support. Now, I've given a speech before about being left-handed, and I got a mug from one of these friends of mine that says, don't forget, this is so that you can remember how awesome you are. Well, this is my awesomeness curve. I'm telling you that mentors are going to help you get there because we all need somebody to tell us how awesome we are, even if we know it. So, in conclusion, this mid-career crisis, any crisis can be applied to this career. But the thing is if you have the right mentor by your side, you can take it as a growth and learning opportunity. As Bill was mentioning, look around you. Is there somebody who inspires you that you admire? Maybe they look like they have it all figured out. Are they the ones that are going to continue to support you and not care whether or not you listen to their advice? The thing about it is that mentors are there to get you moving. And most people are really flattered when you ask them for advice. Has anybody here ever had the situation where you asked somebody to help you out and they flat out told you no? Probably not likely, because who doesn't like to think that they have answers for other people? Well, I'll finish with this quote from the famous English scientist, Sir Isaac Newton, who said, "If I have seen farther, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." This is a reflection that we can't do this alone. You're not expected to do this alone. If you feel stuck or lost, all you need is a really good connection with a mentor or mentors. Reach out to those that inspire you, the ones that are persistent, and that they can give you the spark to light your future. Those mentors are the ones that are going to lower that activation energy for you.